All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test. And we're back on Convincing Idiots. I am a millennial. My name is Nick, and I'm here with my bro hosts, Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. And in our third and final segment for this evening, I know a lot of you guys, just droves of you guys listen to us and watch us every single week, and you just think to yourselves, those guys are so intelligent. They're so smart. They're so just their vocabulary is just off the charts. So well spoken, so well mannered. But just all in all, just the intellect of these guys, the IQ is off the charts. And you might think it's almost superhuman, in fact. And we would have to agree. But modestly, we would have to give the floor today to even perhaps more people with more superhuman intellect. We are going to discuss throughout comic books and comic book culture perhaps some of the wittiest and most intelligent characters throughout comic books. So, Brian, you have a very famous. You have a comic book shirt on. You have the resume of being an intelligent man. So what, and you've been reading comic books longer than most people have been alive. So how
Everybody lies on the resume, don't they?
who do you do? Let's start us off here. This was a great idea that you had, so I'd like to hear. Must have many options to go with. So who's somebody you're thinking of for this, or is there any more detail you would like to give on the topic?
No, it's good. You said it was that's what's interesting about comic characters. It doesn't matter what if it's DC or Marvel, whatever it is. It's interesting that the writers, they make the characters, they give them their own personality. Not only do they have different powers, but they have different levels of intellect, which is interesting. I like that a lot because it's not every character is smart at a higher level, just like people. Right, so
just like this podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
That's right. So it's like, some people. We have a couple cretins. I don't know. I'm not saying who's who or necessarily or anything like that.
You're way too hard on yourself, Brian. Yeah. You're just way too hard. It's a shame. You see somebody about that, I think.
Okay, so I will start out with one of the smartest characters. We don't have a set number we're doing. We're just going to talk through this a little bit. We're just going to go around and talk about who we think are some of the smarter comic book characters. I'll use the one on my shirt. So I'm wearing a Batman T-shirt. I'll give you Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne, I'm not saying he's the smartest one, but he's definitely one of the smartest comic book characters, period. I mean, the man, not only, he's obviously he's very rich in the comic books, but he has extremely high intellect. He has learned tons of different fighting techniques. Obviously, he has
built his own dangerous pajamas. Come on.
Well, that's right. He built the bat. He's create everything Batman. He's done everything himself. He
outsmarted Superman.
He sure did.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He built suits, his equipment, the Batmobile, everything around him, the computer, and he's a very intelligent detective as well. So, without question, Bruce Wayne, one of the most
easily could have
intelligent
just described my
characters.
grandmother.
There you have it.
How many comic books was your grandmother on the cover of?
48.
Quite a few, actually.
48.
Now, that is a very good one, though, because even from a young age, watching the animated series, that was something they really highlighted were his detective skills. And I remember the way that they would break stuff down or that he would figure stuff out. I remember being kind of in awe of that as a child. Just there was one, it was I believe it was for all the millennials out there who may have had the Batman Sub-Zero VHS tape where he took on Mr. Freeze. It was straight to VHS. You could only see it if you bought the VHS tape. But he was listening to a voice recording, and he was able to put together, because in the background he could hear the bells or clanging of like a ship coming in on the harbor, and he knew that ship only docked at a certain time and which harbor it came in and when the message was left, so he was able to piece things together. And I remember just being like following along with that as a kid, being like, that's really fucking cool. Like that's pretty really, fucking awesome. That's awesome. Right. You know what I mean? Like to be able to figure that shit out
docking
and know that stuff. Like it's great.
There you go.
But yeah, they're very, very intelligent, and like you said, his detective skills just you have to have intellect to be able to figure that stuff out. So very cool.
I mean, beginning with the whole comic book itself, he's based more as a brilliant detective than fighting. I mean, that was part of the resume, but the smarts was there first, right?
Absolutely,
yeah,
that's right.
But one of the things we can do as we go, just out of curiosity, and you'll get this if you watch the YouTube channel, Brian's first one was Batman. Nick, was yours Batman? Was he on your list?
He was on my list. Absolutely.
Did you actually make a list?
I did. Yep.
Okay. Good.
I have my top 3, so like Batman was definitely top 3.
Okay, so I was going to raise my hand. So one of us says, I'm curious on how many people, how many overlapping we have. It's more right. What I was getting at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Nick. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to go? Okay. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm going to go outside the box on what I think you guys might not have on there. I'm going Hank Pym.
Yes.
Who?
I mean, Hank Pym from Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Okay.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. I mean, he got us into the quantum realm with the whole deal.
Yeah.
He is now on the mural in Peter Parker's high school, as along with the rest of the other geniuses of the world.
Yeah.
So he definitely deserves a shout out. So
the Pym particles to grow and to shrink, and then to speak to ants and everything. Right. So
he used that shit on his dick, right? Come on. Right. Maybe like a lesser formula, Pym particle, toss it down.
And then when it turned into the size of a building, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go back."
I kind of like this, but I can't handle it.
Or he just sat back and marveled at it. It was like, wash up my cock.
I kind of like this, but I can't handle it. Oh, can that please be the episode title? I kind of like this, but I can't handle it.
That's good. That's funny. I do like that. Yeah, you walk up with confidence in that the Cleveland Brown Stadium trough for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean? Yeah. Toss that little guy.
Pissing on my dick.
And then he looks down at you, as a tiny boy, and he sees your monster cock and goes, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir." Turns out, just walks away.
Sure. All right, Nick, do you have another one?
Yes, I do. I'm going to go with a classic here. Obviously, one of my favorite superheroes ever, and Brian's as well. Peter Parker. Peter Parker is a genius. When you think of Spidey in the suit, it's really more about the web slinging and the Spidey sense and the super strength. But really, as just as a kid, especially, Peter Parker has super intellect, which is one of the things that is very endearing to him and puts him in the positions that he is. So definitely a smart comic book character. One of the all-time ones as well. So Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously, not only did he create the suit and the web fluid and all that stuff, which is fascinating. In the comic storyline, as he got a little older, he also, for a while, ran his own corporation, like a whole, science research corporation. So he was the leader of that organization for a while. In the comic world, they reboot and this and that and the other. But, as a man, that's what he did for quite a while. So, definitely. I agree. Spider-Man was on my list. Peter Parker was on my list as well, Nick.
Nice.
All right. Well, you guys made good points about him being, so intelligent as Peter Parker. But let's take a look at Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He within like split seconds, he's having to shoot the web and create these like geometrical shapes or whatever to like stop certain things. And that, like when he said in the movie geometry, you know what I mean? Like, he's that smart to like think fast on his feet to like, because you got to, if you place those webs, in certain ways or in the wrong spot, it's not going to get the effect that it does. So
right, that's a good point. I mean, to be able to even think that fast on the fly, right? And you could be like, well, radioactive spider and all this stuff and the different effects, but like, to be able to map stuff out and think in that way would take a very intelligent person also.
Absolutely.
Yep. Very good. Excellent.
Yeah. Brian, what do you got next?
I'm going to give you Tony Stark.
Nice. On my list
Tony
as well.
Stark.
He is the Marvel Batman. So, yes.
Yep.
I would agree. So, I mean, we all know the character Tony Stark, Iron Man. He's certainly one of the most popular characters in the movies with Robert Downey Jr. I mean, again, just to remember the storyline. The man built a device to to save his life.
Right.
So what's it called? The reactor? It was the
arc reactor.
Arc reactor. Thank you very much. Because he had shrapnel around his heart. So he built it originally on his own to like a magnet to keep the shrapnel from going into his heart and killing himself. Which then eventually became him building those suit of armor, and obviously from there to be able to build that type of suit in the comic world is, again, it's his genius, intellect, hands down. So, the great Tony Stark, one of the smartest characters in comics.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so
Dean, go ahead.
Next one, I'm actually. We didn't really put parameters on this situation, so I went ahead and I'm going the opposite of you, all of our picks, and we're going with Lex Luthor, a bad guy, a villain, a heel.
Sure.
Lex Luthor, one of the smartest men on Earth, constantly, at least for the moment, getting the upper hand on Superman and even Batman. He is an evil genius.
Sure.
So Lex Luthor's next on my list.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Again, no superpowers. You're right.
Exactly.
Just his intellect.
Just a regular dude, just a smart ass regular
big old brain.
Yeah.
That's right. Nick?
Yeah. I am going outside of comic books here, and but certainly nerd culture nonetheless. I'm going to go with Billy Cranston. Billy Cranston, if you guys are not familiar, because you're probably not because you're much older than me, is the Blue Power Ranger. Billy Cranston, as a high school kid, made all kinds of crazy contraptions during the Power Rangers TV show, okay? He made a time travel apparatus. He made all kinds of different weapons and phase guns and things like that. All the while, now granted, when they're building this show for children, they're never going to stop and think a high school kid would never be able to do that. However, he did. He was in high school making all kinds of things that bent the space and time continuum as we know it. So Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger, the Triceratops Zord, Billy Cranston is on my list as well.
There we
Incredible.
Go.
Yes.
I was going to say him, but I realized
sure.
I'm not a child.
Right. I don't have the Power Ranger
I don't
stuff.
Although I'll give it up for the Pink Ranger.
Which
she
one?
was the first one. Kimberly. She was something. She was okay to look at.
My favorite was Kat, the one that followed her. Yes.
Okay.
Was baby boners. Yeah.
Well, sure. Who's up next? After yes.
All right, I'm gonna give you probably another obvious one here, though. But how about Bruce Banner, the Hulk? The I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just obviously is super intellectual. And,
of the Avengers, he is combating Tony Stark easily, step by step, with the intellect and brain power.
Yeah, in the Marvel universe, there's a couple. There's probably like the top 2-3 intellectual, intelligent people, and he's one of them, right?
Sure.
So, for sure. So his studies of gamma radiation and all that is what unfortunately created the Hulk. But clearly one of the smartest characters in the comics.
Right.
Yep. Dean?
Definitely good choice.
Yep.
I saved my best for last. Not even best, but the smartest. I mean, considered the smartest man in the world, Reed Richards.
Yep.
I mean, in the comic book, he is considered to be one of the, well, if not the smartest person. So, in Marvel Universe, Reed Richards simply is the genius of all geniuses. And
he's probably the tops in the Marvel Universe for sure, right?
Yeah.
Just the space-time travel. I mean, his intellect goes beyond just earthly
comprehension.
Exactly, right. The Fantastic Four can travel across the galaxy and whatever because of the intellect of Reed Richards. You're right.
Yeah. So that's what I got on that. That's actually my list. So
yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So when Dean mentioned Lex Luthor, it got me got the brains wheels turning there on villains. So I couldn't help but think of Doc Ock. Once again, a mentor to Peter Parker at times, and certainly very intelligent, and makes him a very formidable foe because he is so has such a high IQ. So yeah, Dr. Octopus for sure would be up there for me.
There's an interesting comic series, by the way, Nick. I don't know if you've probably not heard of it, but there was a period of time. Have you heard of the Superior Spider-Man? Have you heard of this?
I don't know that I have. No.
Okay, so Doc Ock was so smart. He was dying at the time. He was dying of having the arms. So this was the storyline. So just having the contraption, infused within his body and all that. So it helped. He became ill, right? So he was literally dying, and he was smart enough to figure out a way that he literally took over the body of Peter Parker for a while. So his intellect, so the body of Doc Ock basically died, but the mind, he was somewhat able to take over the mind of Peter Parker. So it was a whole storyline for a while. The Superior Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Yes. So it was Peter Parker. It was Spider-Man. He had his powers and everything else, but Octavio, he took over the. What did I say, Octavio? That's our president of my company. Dr.
Octavius.
Octavius, thank you.
Yes,
took over the body of Peter Parker. So he was able. He knew Peter Parker's memories, and so basically he took over the body. And by having Peter Parker's memories, he realized that he was wrong on many levels about Peter Parker, and he learned his tragedies and his goodness and everything else. So he decided he's going to be a better Spider-Man. The point is, he was able to figure that out.
He was his body, right? It was like mind control. Okay. They did that in Mr. Mercedes as well. I was okay.
Yeah. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Brian.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Who are you picking on Nick and I to take over the body? You got to pick one of us to your mind and our body. Which one are you picking?
This is
my
interesting.
mind and your body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm taking Nick easily.
Oh, well, that seemed quick. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's younger. He's got the thin frame. You could do a lot with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's very hurtful, but no, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
but at least with Dean's, you got like a fixer-upper there. You can, you got work. You got work to do. You got
for a higher price.
You got a project on your hands.
Yeah. I got my own fixer-upper opportunity. I don't need to know them.
I'm not looking for a lateral move.
No, absolutely not.
Always trade up, son.
All right, couple more here. So I'm going.
He can't stop thinking about being in my body right now.
That's right.
He just can't stop.
Neither can I.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, from temporary to permanent. I like that. I like that thought. Nick. Anyway, yeah.
Where do I go? Do I just stay in here?
Huh?
Where do I go?
You want to come on my body? I mean, come in my body?
Where does my brain go?
You're just in that storyline. It's like you were in there, but
God! No,
you're on top of me.
Do you remember the movie with who was it? It was Steve Martin and what was her name? Shit, it was a female actress, comedian, whatever. But they were both in, I think, her body or his body.
Yeah.
And like they shared like the vision. Like shit. Older people's going to know what I'm talking about and remember that. But I would like to see you two in the same body, kind of sharing the wheel.
I like that.
Very good.
Yeah,
I think it was The Jerk.
No, it wasn't a jerk.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I know. It
sorry.
was jerk.
Cheaper by the dozen.
No, it wasn't cheaper by the dozen.
Pink Panther.
I get your Pink Panther.
Parenthood, I think. I think that's what it was. I'm going to give you one of my favorites. One of my favorite graphic novels of all time is The Watchmen. I'm going to give you Ozymandias. Ozymandias. I know you never heard of him, but in that storyline, so it's Adrian Veidt. He was known as the smartest man in the world. So in the Watchmen storyline, he basically realized that mankind in this world was going to kill it, going to destroy itself. There's going to be a pending nuclear war between the United States and Russia. So he devised a plan in the graphic novel to stop it. But although he knew it was going to kill many thousands of people, but in his mind, this plan was to save humanity. So, again, in the comic world, one of the smartest characters ever. Read that graphic novel. The movie was also very, very good and very in line with the graphic novel, as well as by the same guy that did the Justice League movie, the newest one, which was
Zack Snyder?
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder made the Watchmen movie very close to the comic. So good movie, dark movie. Check it out. Yeah.
Can I tell you, that is a movie I've always wanted to watch. From the time that it came out,
Max.
like 2007 or 8 or whatever.
Great movie.
I just need to watch it.
Sit down and watch. It's long.
Yeah.
2 hours plus on HBO Max right now. Check it out. Any others?
The movie I was trying to think of was All of Me, and the female was Lily Tomlin.
There you go.
So, with Steve Martin. So
there you go. So Steve Martin also
super genius,
super evil genius.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Any others, Dean?
Nope. I think I covered mine.
Okay, Nick. Any others?
Yeah. Just the last geniuses are the people that have kind of done something for all of us. They have revolutionized the way that we bike. That would be our friends at RPM Bike Shop. They can offer you the finest electric bikes that you have ever seen in your life. It's
just helps humanity.
Genius level shit. You might think that something like this is out of your reach, but nay, I say. It is well within your reach because it's not located far from here. I say nay. It is located in Carrollton, Ohio. If you're in the northeastern Ohio region, you too can have your hands on one of these magnificent electric bikes from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. Don't believe me? Well, go right to Facebook and type in the search bar RPM Bike Shop. You can also go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, to see all of the wonderful products that they have to offer you. And if you want to talk to somebody over the phone and let them explain to you what they can offer to your life today with their fantastic electric bikes, you can call 330-808-7792 and be on your way to a superhuman and intelligent way to ride a bike today with your very own electric bike from RPM Bike Shop.
Excellent.
Yeah,
there's certainly plenty more super genius characters, heroes, villains. If we did not mention one that you think we should, let us know.
Yep.
Let us know. Love to hear from you.
For sure.
That's right. All right, guys, we've come to an end of another episode, number 131 one, our own super genius of the group, Dean. I think Nick's going to take us out here. Any thoughts? Go ahead, please.
Well, I think talking about with intelligence and comic books, he could probably do this in a heuristic feel and tone, but I would rather listen to an evil genius plot the ending to this episode.
Well, you have come to the right place, because with all of my brain power and all of the genius that I can muster, which is immense, I can only tell you out there, podcast listeners, to go and find us on social media accounts. Don't be a fool! Go to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree. And there you will find all of our social media accounts, the places you can listen to our voices, as well as where you can give us, that's right, money! If you would like to do that as well. And another variation, you can go to our website. That is convincingidiots. Wait, it's coming to me. The equations are forming, the ones and the zeros on the internet. It is plethoric, and here it comes. Convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am your evil genius, Millennial Nick.
And I am Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to take another heavenly journey with us in a future episode? Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.